What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time coming. I want to say it's been 2.5 years, maybe 3. I don't know, but it's been a lot that has happened, that has changed for me. And I'm ready to face the internet. I don't even know. I have been away for a long time, and I can't put the blame on anything but myself. I have been in my head. I have been discouraged. I have been unmotivated. I have been distracted. Like, the list goes on. I remember the last video I filmed, I was moving back to my parents' house, and it's so crazy because I moved back to my parents' house, was there for a whole year, then met my now husband, but he was my fiance. And then I moved, got married, and I'm now here. And so, yeah, it's been a lot that has happened. And it's so crazy because I'm like, wow, like, I made that video thinking I was going to be back at my parents' house recording and filming. And I feel like every obstacle that could happen to me happened, like from just malfunctions, just all types of stuff. I remember like sometimes I would film and my mom would just barge into my room and like start talking to me. And I'm like, girl, I'm filming. And so I would just like get super irritated and like literally cut the cameras. Like I was like, done. I'm not doing this anymore. And then it was like, okay, I wanted to get back on. And I remember I filmed a whole video. Y'all, never posted it. And I'm like, girl, like, what's going on? I even have a camera now. Like, there's no excuse, but I've made all the excuses. And I'm in a place now where I'm just tired of that. Like, I'm tired of making excuses. I'm tired of, like, having no real reason. Like, I want to be back. I want to film. I absolutely miss YouTube. I absolutely miss making content. And so here we are. I'm excited. I am grateful. I am thankful. But I'm also like motivated, inspired, on my grind, ready to go, ready to hit the ground running. And yeah, that's where I'm at. It's so crazy because when I went back home, I was like, I'm going to strategize. And I would have never... A part of me, yes, but a part of me, like, absolutely not. Never would have thought I would be where I am today. Like, when I went back home, I had no boyfriend, okay? Not at all. Not one in sight. Not a possibility. Not a potential. It was nothing. So I went back home. So I had no man. I had no real plan. That's why I was going back home, to make a plan. And here we are. Like, I really, honestly, what I can say is I really like trusted God because I had nothing else to lean on. I was like, God, I'm literally leaning on you and I'm trusting your guidance for this next season. And I remember like being super like low, like to a place where it's just like, dang, like I'm still here. Like I remember I was at my house for a whole year. And I'm like, I should have been moved out, you know, because I moved back home August 2020. Yeah. And now it's 2023, about to be 2024. Crazy, y'all. Moved back August 2020, thinking, no, wait, I can't remember. Sorry, I'm trying to recollect. I think I moved back August 2021. I don't know, y'all. The time frame isn't lining up in my head, so I'm just gonna skip that part. But I was like, okay, like I moved back in August. I was like, give myself to December, I'm gonna have a plan. I had no plan, y'all. I didn't know. Stuff still just didn't make sense to me. Because I remember when I moved back, did I not have a job? No, I had a job, but like I was an intern. So I was an intern for this company that was in Chicago, and I thought I was gonna be moving to Chicago. And so, see, look, that's why you can't always live off of a plan. You have to just trust God and allow him to just do his thing. So I remember I was like, I'm going to possibly move to Chicago. I entertained that, but it didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. I didn't actually get an offer for the company that I was a part of or interning for. And so I remember just like actively looking, and during that time I was networking, and during the time I did like a photo shoot with a stranger that's now my friend, aka Dre. Shout out to you, girl. I kind of talked to her about possibly moving to Chicago and working in the advertising world. And she was like, girl, I work in the advertising world. And she hooked me up with the job. Oh my God, bless her. So thankful for her. And so that's how I got the job that I'm at currently. And so I got that. So the internship ended in August, or no, early September, I want to say. And then I got the job offer in the middle of October. And because I had the plan that I was going to be moving into something new by like December, and I didn't get the job until October, I had to stack up. So I started stacking up, but then it was just like, financially, it just wasn't possible. Like for me at that time, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to take the income that I'm making and go live on my own. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep my faith. And I also needed a new car, y'all. Oh my gosh. My car was on its last leg. So it was like, I had to focus on getting a car. So I was saving up for that. I remember going through a complete like time of just like focus. And I also like joined, church, and I was just like faithfully in church, and I was believing and I was trusting, and I was sowing into the church, and I was just like, God, like make a way for me, please make a way. So I got my job. I was able to get my car in the new year, and so it was looking brighter. And it was so crazy because in the new year, so okay, let's just try to give y'all a timeline so that I can like bring y'all my story. So moved home in August. I want to say in 2021. I'm gonna be definite in that. So I moved home in 2021 of August. I had the plan of possibly moving out in December. Did not happen, but my car was on its last leg, so I was saving up. So I remember from the time I got my job to February of 2022 is when I got my car. And so I was saving. So that means I was literally like head down focused. Focus. And I also want to add, in July of 2021 is when I joined church, and I was a consistent member, and I was literally like trusting God, praying, believing. And so what else happened? Okay, so I was focused. And then I also was in a process where I was like, in November of 2021, I wrote down what I wanted in a man. So let me tell you my headspace. I'm telling y'all, like, this was my headspace. I was like, okay, like I moved back home, need to get a car, want to find a man. All of those things are going in my head. And November of 2021, I wrote down my list of what I wanted in a man. Now, keep in mind, it wasn't oh, he got to be this, that, and the third. He got to look this way. No, I was putting characteristics of what I wanted in a man. I wrote down, like, I want a man of God. I want a man that's assertive. I want a man that's focused, locked in on me. Don't got a wandering eye. Because, y'all, I was attracting guys that had wandering eyes. And I was like, I don't have time for that. Like, you need to be all about me, okay? I wrote all of these things specifically down on my list on my phone. And I prayed and I trusted God, and I left it in God's hands in November. But again, still focused, still grinding, got my new job in October. I feel like my timeline is all a little jumpy. I'm sorry, y'all, but hopefully y'all are following. And wrote my list down in November. And then I was also like, I was talking to my best friend I was like, girl, like, in a perfect world, I would want you to set me up with someone. I trusted her with my life at the time. I was like, girl, like, I trust you with everything. Like, if you set me up with the perfect person, like, 100%, like, And we were watching Love is Blind at the time. So it's so crazy. It's so crazy as the timeline keeps going. So I remember we were just talking. We would hang out all the time. We were talking. We were both single at the time, which is crazy. She's also my podcast sister, BJ. So me and her would just chit-chat it up. I also talked about this in our podcast. So the full story is there as well. But, I can go a little more in depth in here, let you know where I was at. And so this was like November, December. I remember like we both were believing in our husbands. Like we were literally manifesting, praying, like truly believing that our men were coming. And so, and I was 25 at the time. So 25, just got into my job, like a real grown-up job. And I still didn't have my car yet, y'all, because I was in 2021, but I was saving up. I was preparing myself in my mind to get this car. And I was living at home with my parents. So I remember she was preparing to get engaged. She didn't know, but she kind of had an idea, but she didn't know when. And so, like I said, we were both believing, and we would just talk about our future and our lives and what it would look like. And it was so crazy how God just worked that all out. And I remember for my birthday, it's a key moment. So I remember I had to make plans for my birthday back in December. I always make plans early because I need to like prepare myself mentally, physically, and emotionally and financially so that I know what I'm preparing for. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing for my birthday. I said I was spending my birthday solo. This is so crazy. I said I'm spending my birthday solo. I'm going to do a staycation. I'm going to like just treat myself. And I did just that. So, and then also, like, keep in mind, my best friend was about to get proposed to. So she was all like, I was like, girl, come hang out with me. Like, let's just like, she ain't had no idea. Kinda, she did kinda, but I won't get into that. But, we just enjoyed my birthday, but I really spent it solo. I stayed at the hotel by myself the first night going into my birthday. I reflected. I was like, I'm enjoying my birthday because I don't know when I will ever experience my birthday single or solo ever again. I don't know. I feel like I was already preparing myself for my man without knowing anything. And so in the new year, birthday was amazing. Best friend's proposal was amazing. And then I don't even know, but like close to that time, I remember she called me and she was like, girl, and I'm like, you know when you know your friend, and you know when you know your friend got something up her sleeve. So I was like, girl, what? She was like, I have somebody for you. Like, I want to put y'all on a date. And I was like, girl, don't tell me nothing about him. I'm going to be open and just the process. And my word for the year, or my confession for the year, was God, your will, your way. And I kept repeating that. That was my confession all year. I was like, I'm going to say this. And I also said I wanted to be happy. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to set all of it up. I was like, I don't want to know nothing about this guy. I just want to be open. And like a part of me was like super excited because I was like, oh my God, like it's my time. Like, oh my God, like God, you have something for me. I don't know. I just really trusted it. I was like, and plus this is the same best friend that I was like, girl, if you set me up with somebody. So like I already spoke it into existence. I was like, if you hook me up on a blind date, like I'm going, I'm trusting it. So for her to be the one to be like, hey, I have somebody for you was crazy. And then it was like the timing was perfect because my confession was already God, your will, your way. So I was already in a place of like trusting God. So when she presented it to me, I was like, all right, I'm literally going to have to walk this thing out. Like if I say God, your will, your way, like I have to live that. So I was trusting it. I wasn't stressing it. I was like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's not, it's not. And previously before that, I would always second guess, like, is this my husband? Is this my husband? Like, I was like not doing that this time. I was like, God, if it's for me, it's for me. And if it's not, you will take care of me and you will give me your best. So I'm not worried. And so let's get into it because I don't want my camera to die. Let me actually set myself up. Okay, so then what happened? Fast forward February, we go on our date. But let me give you a little backstory. So how I knew that this was different, or this was like a sign from God, was I had no planning really, or say so into anything really. So my best friend was the one who set it all up. She was in communications with him. She set it all up. So basically, she was like, he's going to be here for these dates, and like he's going to set the date, or where he's going to pick the date, time, whatever. So she was like, it was between the 7th or the 8th of February of 2022. And so my favorite number is 7. He don't know that. He has no idea about me. So I was like, okay, if he picks the 7th, then I know for sure he's kind of the one. So she was like, okay, he picked the 7th. I was like, he picked the 7th? I was like, okay, sign number 1. Sign number 2 was there was 2 restaurants he could pick from. And one of them was like my favorite restaurant in Atlanta. And then the other one was still a good restaurant, but it wasn't my favorite. And I was like, if he picks my favorite, then like, again, for sure, I know he's the one. So it was Port Calvin's or I forgot the other restaurant. But anyways, he picked Port Calvin's. So I'm like, yo, this guy is on it. Like he picked the 7th. He picked my favorite restaurant. We doing good. And we linked up and it was cool. Like we talked all freaking night from 5 to 9 p.m. at night. I got there at 5 p.m. We didn't leave till 9 p.m. And the only reason why we left is because I used to have like a bedtime on my phone. And you know, if you have it like set, it'll do like a little like, it'll put it like in a dark mode. And it did that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm past my bedtime. I gotta go. I was faithfully going to the gym at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, I gotta go. Like I gotta get up for the gym. Like I don't got time for this. No, I don't want to say I don't have time for it, but I was like, I gotta go. Like, this is like, you had my time. And if you are worth it, you ask me out on another date. So he did. And we hung out 2 more times after that. The last time we hung out was on his birthday. We went on a hike. It was beautiful. It was so sweet. Like we were walking on this trail, and like I was just like talking, and like he was like, watch your head. Like he was just watching out for me every 5 seconds, and I was like, oh, this is so cute. But I was able to like not think. You know how like girls be saying like, when I'm with my man, I'm not using any brain cells? That was me. Like I had no brain cells in my head. Like I was like about to trip over things were about to hit me, and he was just like watching me and protecting me, and I was like, this is so sweet, this is so cute. He was in New York at the time, and he was moving back. And if anyone knows me, knows I love New York. It's my favorite place in the entire world. And so he was moving back, and I was like, yo, like, that's crazy, because in July of 2021, I sent my man as in New York, and he happened to be in New York. Crazy, y'all. But anyways, I mean, the rest was history. We talked about marriage, everything on the first date. I'm telling you, we talked about everything on the first date. And I think because of that, like we were able to be very intentional from the very beginning till we met to the like day we got engaged to marriage, all of that. Like we made sure that we like everything was talked about, everything was touched. I remember dealing with things like early in our relationship, like where I felt like we were tested and we were able to get through those things. And like from the very beginning, we were tested. From the very beginning, we had to go through things. From the very beginning, we had to overcome obstacles. And like every time we will overcome them. And so it was just like a true testament of like, okay, like if I could do this with him, like we could do life together. And so I think through that time, like I kept getting comforting. And one thing I will say is this man gave me peace. People don't talk about that enough. People don't talk about like having peace in a relationship. Like in my last relationship, I had no peace. That man had me stressed the heck out. Not talking about him in a bad way, but he just had me stressed out. And to be in a relationship where this man literally gave me so much peace, I was able to sleep at night and not worry. He was locked in to me. Like when I looked over my list of what I asked for in November of 2021, and to be able to read it and to be able to look at this person and be like, you check all the boxes. And even the boxes that you possibly didn't check, you eventually checked them because we were able to have tough conversations. Y'all, like, it was just like, God, if I didn't, like, it was God. Like, it was truly God. It was a God thing from the very beginning. It was crazy. It was crazy. Our families gelled well together. Like, I mean, it was just, may I say perfect, but like realistically perfect. It was a beautiful thing. I'm thankful for where we are. I'm so thankful that we were like on the same mindset. It took us 10 months to get engaged. And then I want to say 7, like I said, I'm not good with timelines, 7-ish months to get married. We got married of August 11th, 2023. Which was such a beautiful day. I mean, a stress to get there, but it was such a beautiful day. I'm so grateful. If I can insert some pictures or some videos, I will. But yeah, I'm just grateful. God favors us. God loves us. And yeah, so that's where I've been. That's where my life has been. Y'all, my camera died. It said the battery was overly heated, so I'm using my phone to close out this video. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of this video. There will be more. And until next time, bye.